How are all of you? I hope you're doing well. I hope we've had a significant amount of headfest. I hope we're all overall just having a good day and a good life. I am sitting here drinking some nice warm glass of matcha with some honey and milk. And it is yummy. How are you all? Are you doing good? Have you been well behaved for me? What have you all been up to? What are you up to this fine morning? So good. Is there a guy to tea? Because I need to thank him or her for this deliciousness. Announcements! Tomorrow, I will not have an evening stream. The morning stream will still continue as normally scheduled. So I'm thinking tomorrow morning I'll probably play Honkai, since I'm still trying to get all the beginner rewards. If I don't get them by this evening stream. Friday! I am celebrating getting 500 on Twitch, which thank you so very much. In the evening, not the morning. Morning is when I stream on YouTube, not Twitch. I'm thinking my stream time are probably going to be the same, but you know, things happen. Yeah, so yeah, we never really know for sure. I am in possession of my model, for those of you who do not know this. I mean, not my Vroid model. Obviously, I'm in possession of that. You guys are I'm talking to you through it. But I am in possession of my Blender model now. I've not debuted it. I want to get some assets before I do that. In fact, I'm actually waiting for some, and one of my good friends decided to say, yo, if you need assets, I got you. I've got you, Kitten. So I'm a little excited. I cannot wait for you guys to see it. Oh, the other reason I haven't shown my model yet is because lore-wise, I decided to make myself a shape-shifting cat so I can shift into any breed of cat I want. As of now, I only have my Scottish Fold form. I did commission Nelka for an American short hair. That's what I'm trying to say. An American short hair form. So, once that's done, and I commission my Blender Mom Snow for it, I'll be right with the world, you know. So I am very excited, and I can't wait to share it with you guys. All I will say is, bam, my head huge. No kidding, my Blender model actually kind of has a big head. Funny, people keep saying I have a big head IRL, so I guess it works. I'm totally joking, kind of. I'm mostly kidding. For some reason, people IRL say I have a big head. But joking aside, I genuinely do love this model, and I cannot wait to share it with you all. Just thinking about it makes me want to go, ah! That's it for announcements, I think. I can't think of anything else I need to share. Oh! We're almost done with Dedek's story. I just ended step 2. So now we're going into step 3. No, sorry. We just went to step 3, now we're going into step 4. I'm sorry. I misspoke. Wow, okay, I am tired. What the fuck do I do? Let's jump into it. Where is it? What the fuck? Oh, here it is. Alright, awesome. Now let's shrink me to be a video. I think this should be okay size-wise. I think with Dedic, we picked Relaxed and in Love. Indifference is not an option anymore. Oh, no, wait. Bond and direct for Cove. Okay, it says for Cove, not Derek, so yes. I like 2. Should we give Cove glasses this time? I kind of like these. They look so nerdy and adorable. I also kind of like these. It's like a throwback to step 1, kinda. This I kinda like. Don't question why. With the buffer tape, because why the fuck not? I kinda like this one. This one, I guess? I really hope we clicked on Dedic, because otherwise this is gonna be really fucking embarrassing. That's way too bright. That's probably fine. Relax and love. I can't wait. I'm sorry. I'm just so freaking excited. Jiger. Am I saying your name right? If I'm not, I apologize. But hello, welcome. How are you? Aesthetics initiative in step 4. Let's just go with the middle. My name is Huggy. My name is Huggy Wuggy. My name is Huggy Wuggy. My name my name is Huggy Wuggy. Then my name that I use that I changed. I use and then I change. Okay, English is a little bit broken, but I get it. You know, for Cove, I always use the middle initiative. For Baxter, I kind of want to use high initiative. So I'll go for low for Derek. Let's see how this fucking turns out. Why'd you change your name? Oh. Jigger. And so, your days growing up in the lovely cradle of Sunset Bird came to an end. In the years that passed since graduation, you moved out of your childhood home and made your way into the world. You... lived with a Pauws. And you had a business of your own in the last time I picked writing industry. I think I want to choose gaming industry this do I want to pick gaming or music? I think gaming industry. Health industry, fuck that. I don't want to work in the health industry. Your family members went through the same kinds of leaps into independence. Liz and Lee both eventually earned degrees and started fantastic careers in new town. But your moms and Cove still lived on the same street as they had for all those years before. It was comforting to you that there were some things that remained in the old neighborhood. And despite the ever-changing reality of your adult life, your friends were still your friends. Though of course, things weren't exactly the same for them either. Pretty recently, Teddy Pelican came out as a man and switched the spelling of his name to a Y instead of an I. He also confessed his love for Miranda, which she excitedly reciprocated. They moved together recently in the city out past Sunset Bird. One person did disappear into the shuffle of memories inside your mind was Baxter. After his vacation since the Bird one year, he was just gone. That was the loss he felt. He had become someone you considered a friend during those days. And then there was what became of the sad little boy you grew up with, Cove Holden. Of course, he was still very important in your heart. Cove was your family, and he always would be. Unfortunately, Cove lived in locations. And luckily, now I'm gonna say unfortunately, you and Cove lived in locations far from each other. He truly thrived in his continued efforts of cultivating love and supportive relationships with his family and friends. Did you change your name again for the fuck of it? didn't say his personality changed exactly. Instead, he became more refined. Pauws was a gentle, loyal, considerate man who took the lessons he learned over the years to treat people around him with patience and understanding. When Pauws eventually developed a picture of the future he wanted to have as an adult, it made perfect sense to you based on his interests. So got to your degree. After that, he began working full-time at Orca, helping educate the public ocean conservation and participating in the shore restoration efforts. As an adult, Pauws was able to recognize and have diagnosed that he was on the autism spectrum. I swear I can read. It was something that you hadn't noticed before. It was something that hadn't been noticed by his doctors as a child, but he was still the same Pauws he always was to you, and he was just glad to understand himself better. It thrills you to see how happy and successful he'd grown up to be. Growth and change came to the Schwartz family as well. Mr. Schwartz continued to run through the scuba shop with Mr. Holden, but that was about the only constant that remained. They moved to a new condo in Prism Vista City as their 3 boys got older and the nest began to empty. The baby of the family, Nicholas, was eventually the only one left at home. George went off to a local college, staying in the dorm. Then there was the eldest son, Derek Schwartz. He left the area years ago to attend an out-of-state college on a sports scholarship. He kept in touch with him during those days, as you had in the past. Derek Schwartz since graduated. You were sure he would have success in whatever he pursued. The long-term distance of his career going forward was ambiguous to you, but there was still news Derek had been able to share. He was returning to the city where he grew up, and as always, Derek had a plan, because of course he did, because it's Derek. Derek is such a cutie. I love him. Oh, this is where we're starting. The foggy and scratched glass door of the bus swung open with the gasp of air, allowing you and the rest of the passengers to disembark at your destination. You stepped from a massive vehicle into the Prism Vista City bus station. Crowds of travelers bustled around the concrete floors. A constant stream of strangers came from hallways, shuttles, and other buses. The station was absolutely packed. It was vacation season. Summer had only just begun, but the California heat was already immense. You'd be lucky if there was even a single day of your much anticipated trip. Summer had only just begun, but the California heat was already immense. You'd be lucky if there's a single day of your much anticipated trip was under 90 degrees. Arriving was still a great relief. Oh man, excuse me. My sincerest apologies. Arriving was still a great relief. Streaming from the humid bus station was definitely preferable to baking inside the metal walls of the bus itself. It was a fairly short ride over, but still. You had plenty of that all. It was a fairly short ride, but over, but still you have plenty of. Yeah, you had plenty of that. Who's going on the right? Sorry. You'd already taken the plane. Not really short ride, but still you had plenty of that on the phone right there. You'd already had to take the plane too. The bus was simply the last leg of the trip. Why not? Because it wouldn't be. There was no car. There was no way around the bus ride. You didn't own a car. You know what? Let's say it was too far for you to have driven. You know what? In this universe, we have a car. I cannot drive in real life, but fuck it. In my own mind, I can drive. Zedek had his own car, so that would be your last bus ride until it was time to go home. Oh my god. Sweet, sweet Macho, where have you been all my life? Let me shut the fuck up before I get even more annoying. One of your sweaty hands kept a slippery grip on the handle of your rolling suitcase. It was a well-worn piece frayed at the edges and with an annoying loose wheel on the left side that dared you to try keeping it moving in a straight line. You had it since you moved out of your mom's house. And now it was returning with you. At least to the general area, since you wouldn't be staying in Sunset Bird. Your accommodations were there in the city. All you had to do was inform your old friend Derek, you were ready to be picked up. And so, in your other hand was your unlocked phone with a contact screen up. Welcome back? What do you want me to call you? You selected Derek's name and saw the last thought he had sent you and texted him a quick message. Good luck on your trip. Let me know when you come by. I'll be ready for you. Tampa? Derek, I'm in oh no. I'm gonna say I have arrived. You scooted closer to a wall, positioning yourself out of the path in a place that was still easily visible. Might as well read it well. Timpa. Okay. Oh, gotcha. Coming! Ah! My cats, my beautiful, snuggly, ugly cat. I am so excited. Hold on. My other laptop charger kind of disconnected, which is not good if I wanted to monitor my chat. There we go. You cracked a smile at the screen of your cell and the brief message that lit it up. Then you put it away. He'd be there soon. I swear, every time you can't play this game and not get the warm fuzzies. This game gives all the warm fuzzies. It gives all the warm fuzzy wuzzies. And it's great. Ah! There wasn't much else to do besides watch the tide of people go by and think. Recollections of how you ended up in that spot came to mind. The two of you had constantly kept in touch. He knew what was happening with you and you with him. I'm still kind of sad that there isn't a wedding DLC for Dedek or Baxter because yes, Kova is best boy. Well, actually, in my opinion, Baxter is best boy, but you know, nobody asked me for my opinion. But Dedek and Baxter are fucking amazing characters in their own right. It's not fair. It's not fair. Ah. It makes me sad. Ah. For the past months, the catch-up calls text you had with Dedek included updates on his process of moving. He decided to head back to the city, at least temporarily, to help his dad with his business and work on some things for himself for his own future career prospects. Dedek kept you in the loop with his house hunting logistics. Dedek kept you in the loop with his house hunting, logistics, and victories and setbacks in making a major life transition. It all came together less than a month ago. The Schwartz family was naturally thrilled to have him there. George already lived near, only 40 minutes away. And Nicholas was still at home, so the whole team could be together again. Aww. The biggest brother was just happy to return to his home, to his own stomping grounds after all these years of being away. But it wasn't a familiar, losel only for him. Sunset Bird was the next town over. He knew that. Dedek's deep voice played inside her head. The animated way he spoke through the phone a few weeks ago was fresh in your memory. He talked about how he'd made it to his new apartment with an extra room and that you should totally come to stay for a while. You'd be able to visit with his brothers and parents and your own parents in your childhood neighborhood again, and you'd get to see him too. Finding a hotel in the area was always the biggest problem of coming back home. You had to appreciate the unique opportunities Dedek had provided. So even if he had lived on the opposite end of the country, you would have tried to make it. He meant more to you than just a couch you had to crash on. Seeing Dead Egg was your main priority for the trip. You both worked it out so you could be there. Unfortunately, the other good pal from your youth couldn't make it, Cove Holden. He pouted a little about not getting to see Derek or return to Sunset Bird with you, but he recovered. Wait, are we not gonna see Cove then? That makes me a little sad. I mean, granted, I did want to do Derek Sprout, and that's the character I mainly wanted to focus on. But still, it's a little saddening. It's okay though. We'll live. We'll live. We sad, but we'll live. Especially because he would be coming later that very summer. He simply wasn't able to do it twice in one season. He'd be with Cove then, and Dead Egg would still be in town too. This time though would be bonding time for you and Dead Egg. Ah! Okay, so Cove is coming. That makes me happy. You were looking forward to the trip as much as Dead Egg. It was going to be amazing, you were certain. The whole thing was nerve-wracking, but you didn't want to miss the chance. You had been a long time together in person. I wondered what you'd think. Together a long time. You'd change over the years, but you hope you and Derek would stay close. You were looking forward to the trip, and as much as you knew Derek was. You could already imagine his bright face grinning at you. Those idle thoughts led to idly checking the time on your phone. It'd only been about 5 minutes since you sent the text. You put your phone away yet again. I mean, I want to see my boy! I want to see my boy! It was the grand tradition of being in a bus station, waiting somewhere, checking the time, then looking around. You went back to the third step. Throughout the spacious area, there were plenty of other travelers repeating the exact same process as you. Other than the people filling the space, the scene was virtually unchanged since the first time you'd seen it. You could easily recall the exact day that was Father's Day when you were 13. Derek had been so thoughtful, inviting you over to his house so you wouldn't feel lonely for the holiday. Why is Derek such a sweetie? I mean, they're all sweet. They're all fucking sweet in their own right, but I mean, Derek is just like, I don't know. He's just so thoughtful and he's such a little sweetie pie. He didn't make you go through any of it on your own. It wouldn't be much longer until he was by your side again. Just thinking about it lightened your spirit. And then over the murmur of a bustling crowd, an echoing beat pounced through the air. It was the sound of rapid footsteps against the solid station floor. Pushing off from the wall, you scanned the crowd for the source. It didn't take an I Spy champion to notice the man in a bright sleeveless sweatshirt sprinting towards the bus landing area like he was about to miss the last ride of the day. I can't help it. Whenever I play this game, I get so fucking giddy. This game is just too damn sweet. And I love it. I love it so much. But he didn't have a map, bags, or a ticket in hand. He wasn't there to go anywhere else. He had somebody to see. Is that special somebody? Me. Kitten Pauws herself. Or I guess, in this universe, Salem Pauws? And that was you. Derek had made it. Okay, Kitten, calm the fuck down. Calm your tail down, woman! He neared the drop-off spot while swiveling his head. When his gaze fell on you over to the side, his mad dash abruptly came to a stop. Derek was a solid rock in the middle of a slow-moving river of unfamiliar faces. He frowned so much. Yeah, he's not that tiny little guy anymore that was so cute and you just wanted to kiss on the nose. A sparkling grin broke through the stillness. That part of him hadn't changed. And years older, but still as much boyish charm as ever. Oh, baby! You walked over to him, you ran towards him, you rushed. This does sound like a very me thing to do. With 6 days rattling behind, you pushed through the crowd. Dick turned on his heels to change the trajectory of his path. He took bounding strides to close the rest of the distance between you and him. The moment you were upon each other, you abandoned the bag and leapt at Derek. That is such a me thing to do. Listen, tackle hugs IRL are how I show my affection. At least to those who are taller than me. Which is damn near everyone now that I think about it.
Whoa.
I regret nothing. He caught you and held you with the expertise of someone who had years of practice with a clingy little brother. Jeez, I wonder why! Cough, cough, Nico! Though the way he pressed snugly against you wasn't at all the same kind of embrace he would give to Nicholas. Dear God, Nico was like the cutest thing ever in step 2. I kind of wish we saw the boys at least a little in step 3, but it's okay. 'Cause, oh God, can you imagine how they would have grown up? That would have been so cool to see. And I wish that there was like a scene in step 3 where Derek just comes to Sunset Bird for like a weekend to see you and then go back home. But that didn't happen. But so that kind of makes me sad. And there also aren't any DLCs for step 3 for some reason, which sucks. That would have been freaking amazing. Even if it was something that happened like a little bit after summer, it would have been nice to have a little bit more of Derek in step 3. Especially since this was the route we wanted to go for. Hey. He hugged him back tightly, taking it in his physical. You hugged him back tightly, taking in his physical presence for the first time in ages. It was a wonderful start to the reunion. Then he set your feet. Then he set your feet safely back on the ground.
It's been a while, huh?
Oh my god. With the man himself right in front of you, it was possible to embrace him fully. Your former match in height or lack of height had left you behind for the first time. You had to look up to see his face. Didn's back! You joked. I can't believe you followed me. No, I'm not gonna say that. I'm just gonna say I missed you.
I missed you.
Kitten. Don't go nuts. Don't go nuts. We only just started playing the game. Go nuts later. Go nuts later. Calm the fuck down, cat. Ah! It's good to see you, gal. Dedek watched you so gently, his words couldn't ring anything but true. Setting his eyes on you was something he was so great. Setting his eyes on you was something he was grateful he could do. Oh my gosh, this is too damn precious. I love this game. I love this game so much. And hearing him call you by that, hearing you calling you by that long-term moniker really brought it home that you were, well, home. Feelings mutual. Wait, what did he say?
Ready?
Nice. You ready to go? Got all your stuff? Yeah, it's only the suitcase. Which way are we going? That way. Dedek rubbed the back of his neck at his immense cheer chipped away just a bit. Do you mind? Oh, excuse me. Do you mind having to take a stroll? I didn't bring the car. My place is about a 15-minute walk from here, and the parking lot is wild. I would have had to park 20 minutes away just to find something outside of the apartment's reserved spot. That's the one thing about this place I didn't miss. You know what? That sounds like hell, so I don't blame you. I don't mind walking. I like walking anyways. Gotta get some cardio in. He let out an airy chuckle, still awkwardly scratching at his hair. So we're gonna have to get in some steps. This pain so hot out. That's alright, it's not your fault. The pain in the ass, so hot out. Honestly, being nice moving. Yeah, this would be my mindset. Okay, you're in okay side with your finger. Honestly, it'll be nice to move around after that bus ride. This fucking voice drop. I can't. I fucking can't with it. Oh, but Press your finger to the tip of your chin, thinking. Got here way sooner than 15 minutes. It was barely more than 5. Yeah, wait. Were you already on your way when I texted you? Is that what happened? He attempted to shrug casually, but a smirk tugged at his mouth.
Well,
It's 15 if you walk. He goes quicker if you run. Oh god. And that's where I draw the line. End of stream. Good night, everybody. We're not doing that. Okay. I'm willing to do cardio. I'm not willing to do that intensive cardio. Fuck that. Especially when you're a fast runner. Like if you're a trained athlete for example, sure, flex. Okay, boy. Oh my god. Do you not see my short height and my small little legs? Fuck that. No, good said. Derek jumped in place to spread his feet apart Derek jumped into place and spread his feet apart and strike a superhero pose like he was still a 13-year-old. A very, very cute 13-year-old who is now 24. If I remember, I'm pretty sure in step. I'm pretty sure in step 3, or not step 3, sorry, step 4, we're like 24. Or is it 23? I think it's 24. You blushed wordlessly. I was like, oh. You know what? I'm just gonna say you blushed wordlessly. He was a wonderful person. Aww. Insert Chewbacca sounds. Once again, completely carefree, Derek tilted his head over the way he came. Let's go! Reached down to collect your suitcase, only to grasp empty air. You glanced towards the ground, just in time to see it rolling away securely in Derek's hand. Oh. He's such a sweet boy. He's even carrying our bags for us. And we didn't have to ask! Aww. Why are the guys in this game just so damn sweet? They're like sugar. Sugar! Spice! And everything nice. These are the ingredients to create the perfect little girls. Wait, sorry. Wrong story! Right there, I'm just gonna say, hey, get back here with that, you joke. Wait here, you know? Wow, wait, you just sprinted down here. Don't make yourself carry the bags too. I'm just gonna say a gentleman as always.
You know it.
You've got it. God, I cannot get over how much I fucking love the voice acting. You stepped aside. I would say Lee took his freak hand. Do you grab the corner of the suitcase handle? Took his free hand. Jack had his plan and you had your own. You moved over to the side and slipped your hand around his. Oops. Did I do that?
Oh.
I'm sorry. what it is. Listen. My cat. It's adorable as hell when Code blushes. For some reason, it's even cuter when Dedek blushes. And I'm not sure why. Maybe it's because he looks like the type who doesn't blush very much. Maybe because he's like big and buff. I don't know what it is. But it's so cute! It's so cute! For an instant, he flinched at the touch, but you held firm and he eased into it. I am totally not bouncing on my heels right now. I see how it is. I'm pulling the bags, but you're pulling me. I am a short little person. How would I pull you anywhere? I'm a short little person with practically no muscle. You'd be the one pulling me. Yup. Yep. Kitten, get kitty later. Get kitty later. I can never beat you. Nope. You and Dedek left the station side by side and made your way through the vast city. He pointed out a towering building against the skyline in the distance. It was sparkling and new. It was sparkling and new and had to be at least 10 floors. That's where you were going. Having such an obvious landmark to work towards was convenient. You weren't familiar with that part of the city. The condo where the Schwartz family used to live was further away from the station. It was certainly very different from Sunset Bird. You easily knew every corner of the town and could go from end to end on foot. But you continued along, certain that you'd make it to your destination. Dedek's pace wasn't too fast or too slow. He was conscious of the connection between you and wasn't going to jerk you around. Dedek chattered lightheartedly as their thoughts were drifting along. It felt completely natural being there with him. He didn't struggle to let you into his world. There was a place he left open and waiting for you. Derek Schwartz. His name rang in your ears. For the years you cherished him even more until you couldn't imagine life without him. The moment you saw him again, you'd been hit with the realization that you loved him. I mean, we had a crush. We already stated that we had a crush on him in step 2. I'm gonna say over the years you cherished him even more until you couldn't imagine life without him. Despite how long it had been, and despite all the time you had to spend apart, your feelings never wavered. You were in love with him. The jaunt through the city breezed by. There was so much to catch up on. Even though you didn't sprint, the 15-minute walk still felt much closer to 5. When you arrived at the ground floor of the skyscraper Derek lived in, He showed you right up. At his front door, Zedek finished a key from his sweatshirt. He swung the key on a silver loop around his fingers and joked about his near disaster from earlier that day. He'd run straight out of his house once he texted, and he'd nearly already hit the button for the elevator when he realized his apartment was left unlocked. Derek had to bolt back down the hall as the elevator arrived, lock the door, and make it back to the other end before the elevator closed. But he'd made it. You quipped that being on such a high floor really came in handy. The elevator had a long way to go, and they gave him more time. Zedek nodded with a laugh. Welcome to my house! Ooh, this is cold. I'm gonna wrap myself in a blanket. That feels nice. I would turn on my heater, but it's too hot for the heater. It's also too cold to not... It's also too cold, so, you know. Blanket. Zedek's apartment was a modern but still cozy space and completely spotless. Balcony wrapped around two walls of the abode. Through the crystal clear floor to ceiling windows, you could see the ocean.
What do you think?
It's looking good already, huh? Too bad I didn't put any of it together. It came furnished. None of this is yours? Nah. I didn't have a lot of important stuff on my old place. Nothing worth bringing all the way over. And who knows how long I'm gonna be here. Getting new things didn't sound like a great idea. We'll see what happens long term. I might stay longer than I think. Still, at least for now, prefab apartment it is. It's wonderful. There's a real lack of footballs and soccer balls in here. That's a smart way to happen. You're lucky to live here, you're not in... I would say it's wonderful. Thanks. Glad you think so. You're living here too, for a little while at least. Derek cast his gaze over the room like it was meeting a friend. It had made a good impression on you, and that you had him standing proud.
So...
But he cut himself off and focused attention back on his actual guest. You can have my spare key while you're here, and I'll show you a room so you can put this away before we get distracted. Such a sweet boy. Who's a good boy? Who's my good boy? That was said while Zedek lifted up the suitcase. He insisted. That was said while Zedek lifted up the suitcase he insisted on carrying. Oh my god, why is he such a little sweetie?
Right.
Oops. You mean so you can put it away? I'm not the one holding it, remember?
Right.
Right, I've got it. Aww. You were led towards the narrow hall at the side of the apartment and stopped right at the first door on the path. You'd arrived already. I'm gonna guess we're not gonna see Baxter at all, which makes me a little bit sad because I adore the character so much. Dedek opened the room for you, holding the door until you passed through. You entered your temporary bedroom. He followed you inside, still tugging the suitcase behind him. The furniture style was a perfect match to the living area. It was easy to see that it had come as a full set. Dedek set the bag against the corner of the bed to keep it out of the way.
Oh, man.
Man, it's incredible that you're here, especially now. George and Nico are both on summer vacation. They're super looking forward to see you. Can you believe they're gonna be juniors next year? George for college and Nico for high school, obviously. He spoke with an affectionate enthusiasm. We used to babysit them, and now they're practically scholars. Not to mention the fact George outgrew me. It's been a couple more years. Nico will too. So much for them being the big brother. It was a blow to Derek, but he took it on the chin and snorted it in good humor. They're still little babies in my mind. I can't wait to see them. You know what I'm gonna say? That's what I'm gonna say. They're still little babies in my mind. Conceptually, you knew they weren't still spending all their days on puzzles and doing whatever. Derek did, but that didn't mean they had stopped being kids. They had stopped being the kids you knew. It's the same for me, but don't tell them I said that. They'll get grumpy. God. Yeah, back in step 2, Nico had such an attachment that it was kind of adorable and sweet. It was a ponderous thing caring about other people getting older and progressing in life. Little George and Nicholas had grown up so much, but the same number of years had passed for you, and you were older than them. You were an adult with a business and a place of your own. You achieved more than you had hoped for. You really embraced adulthood, but you still feel like a teenager rather than... Dude! My dudes. My people. When you're an adult, you never really feel like an adult. You feel like you're still a teenager, even though you're not. Especially when you're in your 20s. You feel like you haven't really grown up much. Even if you have in reality. But I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. Like, cause look, I mean, if you're spending all your time focusing on adult shit sake mushrooms, then it's like, are you having fun in life? Like, yeah, I mean, you need to be responsible and all that shit. But it's also really important to have how do I word this? It's important to be responsible, but it's also important to find things that make you happy and have fun. You only have one life to live, so you might as well... You only get one chance at life. So I say it's important to make the most of it. But you still feel like a teenager rather than a real adult. You weren't sure if you would ever reach a point where you saw yourself as completely grown. Whoops. A pause had formed before you realized it. You blinked and brought your mind back to the present. Derek offered an understanding smile and then spoke to give a different type of offer.
So?
Want to see the rest of my apartment? I'll give you the tour. You know what? Why not? Yeah, that'd be great. Or counter idea. We go in the living room and play video games. You casually went through the still open bedroom and Derek shut it behind you. The grand tour of the Derek Schwartz local was started. The grand tour of the Derek Schwartz local was started immediately. You got to the scenic guest bathroom with all the amenities, and he showed off the vast end of the hall with a closed door. Anything could have been beyond that point. Your helpful guide informed you that this was his bedroom. Isn't it crazy having the master bedroom at the end of the hall? Sometimes I still look down there and think that's gotta be my mom and dad's room. You're moving up in the world. You and Derek strolled back into the main section to explore the dining area and the kitchen. You described the treasures hidden inside each cupboard, and you even got to check the inside of the fridge. Are there snackies? Or am I playing with my eyebrows? It was difficult to pretend the contents were part of some tourist adventure experience. The only things there spread out sparsely among the shelves were water, colorful sports drinks, a jug of 2% milk, a box of salad greens, and a few containers of some kind of packed meals. Say, like, bento boxes? I'm suddenly craving, like a rice omelet. That sounds really good right now. Derek awkwardly cleared his throat, feeling as though he needed to explain the sight in front of you.
Oops.
I don't have much in stock right now. I usually eat at my parents' hate or get takeout. That's it! We're going grocery shopping! Come on! I'm on vacation, sort of. A working vacation? But I should change that, especially now that there's somebody else here. He swung his arms to the side of the fridge, but yanked it back to a crack before it shut. The bottles in the door clattered. Oh, do you need anything to drink? I've at least got that. Bottle of water, sports drinks. I fucking hate sports drinks. I don't know what it is, but I fucking hate them. I will drink them if there is literally nothing else, but I do not like the taste. They taste gross to me. I'll take a water bottle.
Leave it to me.
I got you. Derek stuck his arms through the opening and pulled out a chilled water bottle. closed the fridge for real and straightened out his last stand. He accepted the drink from his hand. The sightseeing moved back into the living room from there. His fun tidbits there were about which switch turned on which light and how to turn on the fan. Cats, I'll be right back. I gotta pee! Hold on. Sorry. Yeah. All right, I'm back. Hi, Dad. Welcome, welcome. How are you? Oh, yeah. I was talking to my VTubing group. Apparently, you're everyone's dad. This is such a cozy blankie. The sightseeing moved back to the living room from there. These fun tidbits there were about which turned on the light and how to turn on the fan. I'm doing okay. Thanks. That's good. Oh! Excuse me. And here's the last stop. With a flourish, he pulls open the sliding door that led out to the balcony. Oh my god, this is... Okay. Kitten, we haven't gotten to the juicy bits yet. Keep reading, you damn cat. Cool, could we stay inside? Thanks for getting the door. I don't really like heights. You smile with a... Todd, you will never hear me say I don't like heights. That is something you will not ever hear me say. Listen. I freaking love high places and always have. Ever since I was really, really little. Dad can vouch for this. He was there. I tend to climb up on places I technically wasn't supposed to just because I liked being up in high places. Would do it again now if you know, the cops didn't take legal action on adults. You smiled with interest. You know, why not? Derek gestured once more to the wide open door. I know that there are people who are afraid of heights, and I'm just like, being up in high places, fucking great. It's falling that's terrifying. Actually, being up in a high place is fucking awesome. But even falling, depending on how you land, it really depends on how you land, which determines whether it's scary or not, at least for me. After you. You're losing track of how many doors he'd held open for you already. But you walk through the last one into the sizzling summer air. The view was even more breathtaking than you'd realize from the living room. You could see miles, the sea, the sprawling city, and the rolling hills beyond that. Can I have this balcony? Please? This is a really pretty view. I mean, I don't want to live in an apartment again. I freaking hated that, but this is a really pretty view. Neither of you spoke for a moment. Didic moved past you and leaned against the railing. He stared out into the vast world ahead of him. You rested right next to Didic. You rested a little ways from Didic's side. You went to stand next to him. You stayed back from the edge. You rested against it too, right next to Derek. Because me. You didn't flinch. Derek welcomed their presence with ease. How do you guys put up with my antics? There was the part this is the part where I was most in. Oh, this was the part I was the most into about the apartment. Whatever place I got, I knew I had to have a balcony. Even a small one would be fine, but this one is amazing. Dude. My dude! My broski! Did I seriously say broski? This isn't the 70s surfer movie! Oh. Ah. Feeling settled, you sipped at the refreshing water that had given you. He pinched his shoulders up and sent a grin your way.
All right.
So that's it. The whole place. Unless you actually wanted to see the inside of my room. The suggestion was given with a coy brow raise and a little laugh. I'm good. Thanks for the tour. I was looking forward to seeing your jokes. I would like that sometime. No, that was fun. You shook your head in amusement. You bashfully broke. This is definitely a me answer. His smile turned reassuring. Don't worry about it. Derek pushed himself up from the bar and to stand at his full height. This is such perfect timing. We're both going to be in town for Father's Day tomorrow. That was right. You'd be present to spend the one holiday in person with the Suarez family. You only ever stopped being with the Suarez for that day because you moved. You used it to spend that. You only ever stopped being with the Suarez family for that day because you moved. You used to spend that day celebrating with Mr. Holden until you moved away. You hadn't attended Father's Day ever since that first time. I like Dedek's family, but I like Cove's family more, honestly. You just spend that day celebrating with Mr. Holden until you moved away. Over the years, you had grown closer to Mr. Holden, and having him in your life felt completely natural. You knew better than most that he didn't need to be related by blood to be your family. I mean, Mr. Holden kind of was like a dad or a character. And Cove was the one we lived by. So I'd say that makes the most sense. Thanks to him, you eventually had a dad of your own to spend Father's Day with. Yeah. In this universe, Mr. Holden is like our dad and Cove is like our brother. A little weird considering we went for Cove's route the first time. Mr. Holden was thrilled to have you there for Father's Day celebrations and continue until you no longer lived close enough to do it. It wasn't the same as being there though. And you also kept in touch with Mr. Schwartz by sending cards. You also kept in touch by Mr. Schwartz. I don't send cards, I call. You also kept in touch with Mr. Schwartz by calling. That was just as important. You were grateful to have two dads who cared for you. You were looking forward to being in town for the occasion, to say the least. Dedek spoke up again to elaborate on the plan. So we have 6 moms and 2 dads. That's kind of cool. I'll be going to see my dad and everyone else. That's pretty obvious. We're just gonna hang out at their place. I know you might have plans with your own dad, but I was thinking that maybe we could have a combination Father's Day get-together? Question mark? It doesn't actually say question mark, but you know. It's so rare that we're all here. It feels like a waste to separate for the holiday. That's why I figured we could invite Mr. Holden over. He loves you, and my dad loves you too. And the two of them are the best friends. I doubt they'd have a problem with that as long as you didn't mind meshing your celebration with ours. It's not gonna be a huge party. I'm just going to my parents' place to hang out. You don't need a gift for my dad either. I got him a tie. It's not a big deal. Sounds like one relationship. I think that'd be the perfect solution. Or should I say the perfect solution? All right. He rubbed his hands together eagerly. Tomorrow's gonna be a great day. And look at me inviting you to Father's Day directly like a big boy. Cedric was so tickled inside and out that he scratched his cheek and let out a rumbling chuckle. You certainly are a very big boy now. Thanks. His gaze swept over the city once more as his mind began to wander away from where his body was planted on the balcony. And it's insane how much time has gone by. It's been, what, 10 years since we first met?
Wait.
He whispered the words again with the gravity of a long-lost spell. 10 years? It's been 10 years since that first summer we spent together? Cedric's voice and feet sped up faster and faster. He ran a hurried hand through his short hair and stumbled back from the railing. Oh, wait. Hold on. He couldn't face you anymore. Derek stared hard at nothing with his jaw clenched. It felt impossible then, but it happened. We actually became adults. Time's up! You finally realized you'd been waiting for that! The light bulb suddenly went on in your head too. What do you... you wait for him to explain. A light bulb suddenly went on in your head. You realized what he likely just did too. You remember what 10 years meant to you. You remember what 10 years meant to you for him. For the two of you together, the deal. Cedric's face darkened, mainly in the cheek area. He was full of an uneasy energy that came out as a constant shifting in the position of his feet.
Oh man.
That's awkward, huh? I really hadn't planned this out as well as my teenage brain had thought I had. It was true. Time's up. You and him... Oh, we're 23. Why was I thinking we were 24? That was true. Time was up. You and Tim were an entire decade older than you were then. And more than that, you had gone from being barely older than children to being adults. Cedric had graduated high school and college. He had a car, a place of his own. He probably had student loans. It was just as he imagined as a 13-year-old. And it was at this point that he had intended to complete his vision of grown-up dumb by marrying you. You joked about the whole thing. You initiated a serious conversation about the deal. It made you nervous. You didn't want things to change. You wanted to be with him and nothing to do with that deal. You really hope Derek wanted... You really hope Derek wanted to be with you for reasons other than that deal. You initiated a serious conversation about the... You know, that's definitely something I would do. Did I? What do you want to do now? Truly, I'm still considering it. I'm sorry, I really can't go through with something like that. I'm just like, Derek, what do you want to do now? Maybe the warm fuzzies! He shut his mouth. He blinked. He thought he stalled. Derek had suddenly been dropped into a game where he didn't know if the person in front of him was on the same team or the opposite side. Ultimately, he made a safe play and kept the ball in the middle of the court. I'd be as serious about this as you are, whatever that means. You couldn't speak, but he held his gaze. The conversation was nerve-wracking. Glanced away. It was a bad idea. I'm gonna say, and what does that mean? There was nothing daring about you passing the bucket right back to Derek. But I got the gears turning for him. Neither of you gave an immediate rejection. Oh, you know what? Fuck it. No, I'm just gonna say, what does that mean? Neither of you gave an immediate rejection. That was telling. The gridlock slowly cracked forward. Well then, if you don't think it's totally stupid, we agreed to that deal because we thought we'd be good together. Maybe we should see if that's true. We could date? His tepid words, shaky expression, and uneasy stance were a perfect reflection of the boy who first suggested the plan. Just to see how it goes, right? Because we have that deal. The long list of irresolute questions was punctuated by one single definitive statement. I'd be up for trying. Yeah, we're still kind of. You know what? I'm gonna say, yeah, we're still kind of fiancés.
No way.
His brave friend. This is so cute. That blush of disbelief was immediately eclipsed by a wholehearted cheer, loud enough that it might have been heard on the balconies of the next building over. Then it's a deal, or it's still a deal. Gabe, stop giving me the warm fuzzies. People will start calling me cute, and we can't have that because I am not cute. We're on a mission to figure out if the plan was a horrible mistake or not. Screaming with confidence, Derek held out his hand towards you in the exact same way he had almost exactly 10 years ago. Oh, get something cheek. Flashback to 10 years ago! You weren't going to break tradition and moved right past the hand he offered to instead press your lips let's sweetly to his face. Kitten, calm the fuck down, calm the fuck down, calm the fuck down. Somehow, the repeated gesture still surprised him. When you pulled away, he was left gawking at you. Derek was even more starstruck than Nicholas watching his favorite big brother do a cool soccer stunt. You were miles away from the old playground. So much had changed for you and for him, but the promise you'd made together was officially reaffirmed. Diddick's fingers ghosted over the side of his face where you kissed him as if touching it too hard would wipe away any lingering sparks of affection. It meant something to her. I'm not gushing over a game. Not me. No. 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 Dies immediately. You weren't simply romantic backups for a hypothetical future in the present. For a hypothetical future in the present moment, you were two people who were dating each other. Oh my god. Blessed. That was hard to believe, but Diddick's brilliant smile was there directed right at you, and you knew that Diddick never lied. It was real.
You doing okay?
Hey, so how tired after all that traveling? Because I was thinking, if you want, we could go visit our families now. His enthusiasm was palpable, and you felt ensnared by his sparkling green eyes. I know we're going to see them tomorrow, but there's no law saying we have to wait till then. That idea... How do you, I cannot fucking read this word! Re-energized. Oh, that idea had you re-energized and ready to hit the road again. The corners of your mouth curled into a grin. I'm definitely not tired enough to pass that up. Awesome. Oh, but wait. Are we telling people about our deal? Diddick crossed his arms. You could tell that he was trying to stay cool, calm, and collected, but it was obvious he was anxious. Sweet baby! Ah! Ah! We might be getting married in a few months after all. My family's gonna be so blindsided. They have no idea I asked you to be my wife when we grew up. Oh my god! If you were still single, of course, and still interested, you get what I mean. Meow. I didn't tell my moms about that either. Because everybody didn't know about our great plans and say, it'd be best to keep our families out of it until we have an answer. You sure? Wait. Actually, no, let's just... What should we do? Nah, let's keep our families. Wait. This is hard. I'm the type of person who tells my dad everything. And I mean everything. Like, my dad, it's like, listen. If something terrible happened and my dad decided to get me back by telling my secrets, I would have to go on a witch hunt. Do though. I'm gonna say we should let everyone know about our great plan at this point. Better they know now, right? It was clear that the reality of the situation was starting to sink in, and Dedek acted really loud. He steadied himself by taking a deep breath.
I got you.
That's fair. So what are the chances they think this plan was just as great as we do? It'll be a surprise, that's for sure. But they'll be filled for us once the shock wears off. I would never do that. You're my busy bud. I'm busy bud? I mean, sure. I guess I'm busy. I'm busy being a streamer. Right.
Leave it to me.
I'm gonna call my parents and let them know what's up. I know they'll be there. I'll see about getting in touch with George too. If we're lucky, we might get a full house. His mouth cracked into a fond smile. This'll be quick. You won't even miss me. Or maybe you will. I wouldn't mind that. I know what you meant, Dad. I was just messing around with you. Oh my gosh. Oh my god, the sweetest levels of this game could probably end all wars. If only. You teasingly shoot him away. I won't be able to go it. I won't be able to if you don't go. I won't be able to if you don't go. Go get to I won't be able to if you don't go. Get to it. There we go.
Right.
True. Satisfied, Dedek pulled out his phone and brought it to his ear. He began to walk away in preparation for the talk. Since he was busy with that, you decided to return to your guest room. You considered freshening up by changing. Putting your fingers on the bag, you cycled through the options in your mind, but nothing felt right. Eventually, you settled on using the bathroom and splashing some water on your face instead. As you crossed the apartment, you peeked over at Dedek. There was no way you can know what was being said, but he shot you an exaggerated thumbs up. You took that as a strong sign that all was going well. You threw your fist into the air, mouthing a silent yes! The way Dedek's lip twisted, you could tell that he was trying very hard not to burst into laughter on the phone. Oh, this is so sweet. It wasn't very long before your visit was properly arranged. The calls were ended, and you were leaving the apartment building. Dick hesitated at the door and tapped at his bottom lip. He was double checking his mental checklist, but that too was resolved in short order. You both stepped out into the hall, and this time he remembered to lock the door before he dashed down the hall. Hopping into his car, you promptly took off. The driver was lively. The drive was lively. You spent taking turns telling each other new stories about your families and your latest personal adventures. Thanks to slow-moving traffic, it was a 20-minute drive to reach his parents' new place. Didic pulled in and automatically noted how lucky you were that this condo had guest spots. Nodding along, you followed as he enthusiastically showed you the way. Didic knocked solidly, but not too loudly on the door. I wish there was an option to tell the parents in person instead of over the phone. Like when you get everyone into a room together. Just what I personally would have preferred. They knew you were coming. It didn't take you by surprise when the door almost immediately pulled open. Mr. Schwarz joyfully greeted you both. Hi, welcome home. Is it just me, or did his mother somehow get prettier? Without a second thought, she wrapped her eldest son in her arms. Derek gladly hugged her back with the same vigor. Hey, Mom.
Good to see you.
It's good to see you, and Salem too. She ushered you two inside, and you got your first look around. The Schwarz had moved there a couple years ago, but you'd never forgotten to visit until now. It was still just as homey and comfortable as their old apartment. When you traveled further inside, you spotted Mr. Schwarz sitting at the kitchen table with the chilled drink. He took a slow, drawn-out sip. And then he placed the cup down and got up to join everyone else. He stood up in front of you like you were a newly arrived audience. Like you were a newly arrived audience, pointing at his wife and tattled. Mom made me promise not to get the door. She wanted to be the one to answer. Why are all the married couples in this game just so damn sweet? It's cute, it's wholesome, and it warms my cold kitty heart. Mrs. Schwarz was unapologetic and owned up to her actions entirely. She went over to her husband and soothingly rubbed his back.
Thank you.
Thank you for being such a good sport about it. Why is it that it seems like the women get prettier with time? Don't get me wrong, the guys look good too, but especially the women. They just seem to get they just age with grace in this game. Of course. But I have to get to my meeting now. Doing exactly as he promised, Mr. Schwarz turned from his wife to you and Didic, the two guests in his home. He pushed his glasses up higher up his nose. Hello, kids. I'm happy you came. Hello, kids. I'm happy you came early. I couldn't ask for better visitors. God, these two are so cute. Hi, it's great to see you too. It's been too long. I'm gonna say. It's been too long. I'm gonna say you both look wonderful. You know how I spoke. You waved as you spoke. You hugged them both as you spoke. Listen. I like getting stuckly hugglies. overwhelmed with joy. You pulled Mrs. Schwartz into a big hug. When she let go, you did it over again, all over with Mr. Schwartz. They were just as delighted to squeeze you back. Aww. Snuggly hugglies are the best. They're warm and fuzzy. Why, thank you, Salem. Mr. Schwartz had held himself proudly at your praise while Mrs. Schwartz tried to hold back her giggles. You're so sweet to us. You guys are fucking great, that's why! I wish they showed a little bit more of Dedek's dad. Because we see more of his mom, but we don't really see much of his dad. I kind of wish we did. Okay. Dedek clacked his hands together and you couldn't help but smirk. The image reminded you so much of his mom trying not to bring order to her rambunctious sons. And speaking of... So, where are the bros? It's the same as always. You arrived first. It made sense to you that you'd be in George there. He had to rearrange his day on the fly to make it. But why wasn't Nico there? Your eyebrows raised in surprise. You didn't have to ask for an explanation. Mrs. Schwartz gabbed about it in an intentionally overdramatic tone. That is my question each day. Nico is never home with me anymore. Now that school's out, he travels into the city as soon as he gets up and only comes back in the evening for dinner. A mother's gloom over her baby growing up was giving its silver lining by the father.
Yes.
He's independent.
Maybe.
He is usually, but... Mrs. Schwartz held her phone up. Mrs. Schwartz held up her phone to her lips and curled into a mischievous grin. She added a wink when she shifted her attention to you. I might have sent a text that you were coming by. I'm sure that'll get his attention. He'll get his butt back here sooner rather than later for a change. Right. It struck you then by Dedek's understanding tone that none of this was news to him. They were explaining Nico's habits for your sake. The whole family was as polite as they were perceived as they were perceptive. Excuse me, sorry. Since we've got time, why don't you show Salem the condo?
Let's go.
I was about to just suggest the same thing. What do you think, Salem? Want to take the tour? I do. Show me everything. And I mean everything. Awful. Mrs. Schwartz's delight was evident. She endearingly looped her arm through yours to lead your direction. Similarly to what Dedek had done earlier that day, his parents led you through the highlights of their new home. Mr. Schwartz probably listed all the amenities of the complex offered outside as well. Dedek leisurely followed along behind the group, loosely listening to the fact list. He had a few notes to add here and there. Sometime later, a phone interrupted the conversation with a loud Oh, sorry, that's me. He partly shifted the phone out of his loose pocket and checked for any important news. He beamed victoriously and let his phone slide back into the depths.
Nice.
George is here! And with good timing, the tour was complete. Let us go meet Junior. The current group left the hall behind and crowded back into the living room, ready for the party to grow in size. As you got there, you heard a firm and even-paced string of knocks on the door. Mr. Schwartz eagerly shouted over the sound. My turn!
All right.
Fair's fair. Cheerily, Mr. Schwartz jaunted off and swung the door open wide, knowing that his middle son was on the other side. Aw, he looks so handsome now. He's still adorable, but he's like really, really handsome now. And he was. Although George Jr. Schwartz was hardly a junior anymore. I was thinking he was still gonna be chubby. Like, I expected him to be taller, but I was thinking he was still gonna be chubby, but nope. George had not only grown taller than his big brother, but he also towered over his parents. Your jaw would have been on the floor if Dedek hadn't mentioned this earlier. Oh my god, he's adorable. Bros, I'm willing to bet what the next Our Life game, not now and forever, or not now and forever, but probably in like a third Our Life game. I'm willing to bet he's gonna be a main character. I'm kind of hoping that's what happens, because that would be fucking awesome. Still from his neat sandy brown hair, his calm expression, and relaxed stance, you knew that he was the same boy you knew as a kid. George also remained a placid presence in his rambunctious family. They cheered at his arrival and he smiled sweetly. Usually he's the cold and expressionless one. Now he's being sweet. Or I shouldn't say usually, but when he was 10, he was usually cold and expressionless. Or he didn't show emotion very often. When he did, it was the cutest thing ever, but he rarely ever did.
Hello.
I hope I didn't keep you waiting. Damn, everybody's getting a voice strap. I mean, it makes sense, because he's not 10 anymore, but still, that caught me off guard. Welcome home, Junior.
Don't worry about that.
Don't worry about that. You didn't take long at all. Cedric struck when George was distracted by their parents. He hooked an arm around his brother's neck and pulled him close. George hugged Cedric to his side. So Cedric's already here, huh? Yeah, I am. Never would have guessed that. The brothers let go and gave each other one last light shove. George went over to you next.
Hey.
Hey, Salem. It's been a while. I'm so proud you've grown to be a responsible man. I miss you. We're all grown up. You grinned. I was like, I've been waiting forever to see you. You bet. I was like, you tap his nose. You give him a, you open his, no, tap the nose. We have to tap the nose. Boop. You shook the perfect You struck perfectly on the final word, for an added emphasis. A blush rose quickly in his cheeks, and George could only nod in his flabbergasted state. It's good to see you. You notice the remaining rigidness left George's frame. He snagged a drink from the kitchen and settled in. He was joined there by the others and recounted his days so far. Eventually, you all heard the distant sound of the doorknob jiggling and then turning. No knocking was required for this one. Oh god, because of course not. There was only one person it could be, the last to arrive for the gathering and the last to be born, Nicholas. The door popped open with a swish, and you saw that you were undeniably right. His hair really grew out. I was thinking they were gonna cut it shorter, but nope, it grew out. He still has hair clips too. Oh my god, adorable. It was Nico, but his appearance had your brows pinching. He was extremely different, yet simultaneously so similar to the tiny six-year-old you had first met. Somehow his hair managed to be wilder than when he was in elementary school. But besides that, he'd become a young man despite continuing to be a baby in your mind's eye. 'Cause he is a baby! He was sporting a colorful rainbow romper that was fashionable as it was functional, as well as his iconic hair clips around to the mix of old and new. Yeah, did somebody say 70s or 60s? I think 70s. Nicholas is back! God, I love their sibling dynamic. It's just so wholesome. It's so wholesome. My heart can't take it. Dies and collapses on the ground. I think I'm gonna keep stream going until about 8 o'clock. So I'm gonna keep at this for the next hour. With a roll of his eyes, Nicholas animatedly gestured and held his arms out. You bit back an amused laugh. No shit, I live here. That's not news. Since when does this game have light swears? It's news is that Derek and Salem are back. True. He bounced over and managed to securely lock himself around his brother's wide chest. Derek wrapped an arm across his brother's shoulders in response. Oh my gosh. Why do y'all have to be precious? Derek ruffled Nico's long, thick hair before letting him go. It was sweet that the gesture of affection between them hadn't changed, though Derek didn't have to lean down to do it anymore. Hello, son. Thank you for coming. That sly look. That freaking mom smirk. It's great. Walking by Nicholas gave you a short wave Nicholas gave a short wave to his parents and then elbowed Jorms clumsily as his hello. Jorms teasingly retaliated with a poke to his little brother's side. Finally, Nicholas stopped in front of you. Hey Salem, welcome back to Casa Suarez. It's my sweet baby boy. You can't be that big. That's illegal. You swine. What a charming gentleman you've grown into. I'm just gonna say, it's my sweet baby boy. You shook your head fondly. You hugged him. You offered a high five. No, we're squeezing his cheeks. We're squeezing those cheeks. You pinched his cheeks. I ain't sweet or a baby. Nah, you're still a baby. Shush. You're still a baby. Shush. You mind inspired by your tongue and his his wine inspired you to tug his cheek for a few seconds longer. Nicholas teasingly stuck his tongue out at you. No! He reached over with both his hands and playfully pinched both of your cheeks. You really accepted your grim fate. Nico loved to mimic people after all. Well, that hadn't changed. Now the whole Schwarz family plus you was together again. Mr. Schwarz admiringly looked at his wife and then his sons. He securely hooked his fingers into his belt loop.
That's good.
This is very good, yes. I wonder if everyone here will be coming back tomorrow as well. Nicholas probably will. He lives there. Or at least he better. Otherwise, I'm going to bite. I will ground him and then bite him. I will bite that arm off. What is wrong with me? What is wrong with you guys? You all watch me for some reason. How long have I been at the stream?
Of course.
Of course, Dad. George still has like this sweet manner of speaking. Salem and I are gonna be here for sure. I might manage to work it into my busy schedule. Bro, you live here. What do you mean you might manage it?
What do you think?
Also, while we're talking about tomorrow, that reminds me. I wanted to ask if it'd be alright for Mr. Holden to draw in our Father's Day. It could be a joint party with us and Salem's family. Oh, Cliff? That would be quite an event. I'd be happy to have the company.
I figured.
Yeah, I figured, but I wanted to ask first. We'll invite him when we go down to Salem's neighborhood later. Thank you so much. Your excitement accidentally increased the volume of your thanks. Mr. Schwarz cracked an entertained smile and then let out a blooming laugh. I'm sorry, it's impossible for me to play this game and not smile like a fucking idiot.
That is all right.
The more the merrier, as Mr. Holden himself might say. I already can't wait for tomorrow.
Wonderful.
Superb. That's exactly what I want. That's exactly what I wanted for the day.
Well,
And you curiously peeked at Derek and watched him shift his feet oddly. A tingle of excitement started coming off him, and you realized what he had in mind. since we're here, Salem and I have got to tell you something. Ah, you're in a relationship. Wait! Dad figured it out right away! Damn! Damn! Those parent senses, they're like Spidey senses, but you know, parent superpowers. I seriously just make that reference. You all saw nothing. You saw nothing. Zip. Zitto. Nada. Capiche? Capash. Dad!
Is that wrong?
What? Is that wrong? Were we not aware of what Dedek felt about Salem? Mrs. Schwarz groaned numbly and hid her face in the palms of her hands. George put his hands on his hips, giving his dad a hard look. Maybe, maybe not. We have no idea. Don't steal their thunder before they've said anything. Their faces are great. Even the mom's just like, I can't fucking believe you. They're so sweet. He's right, Giorgio. Let them talk. Oh my god! And Georgie's just like, oh god, what have I done? Oh my gosh. This is fucking amazing. Mr. Schwarz stroked his beard thoughtfully. Ooh, sorry, kids. Plot twisted ads on this pic. Actually, I wouldn't be surprised if Dedek's dad was not necessarily autistic, but like I would not be surprised if they canonically stated that he was neurodivergent. That would not surprise me.
Go on.
Dedek, please keep going. What did you want to say?
Okay.
Yes, forget I said a word. My lips are sealed. Dedek shot you a look that was both apologetic and encouraging. He turned back to the waiting eyes of his family and scratched his Well, Dad was right in a way. Yeah. His cryptic pause made his family quickly fall silent. Dedek's grin widened teasingly. Well, your son and I are considering formal engagement. Guess who's gonna be part of the family? I would say, well, we're actually engaged in a way. Ta-da! See, back when we were 13, some shit happened. Stunned into silence by the revelation, the Schwarz family stared at you both. Right. Here's the heels. Excuse me. Here's the deal. Almost a decade ago, Salem and I promised that we'd get married if we were still single in 10 years. That deadline is the end of this summer. And we're both single, so we're double checking our compatibility before we might have to tie the knot. Contractual obligations and all of that, you know how it goes. Because you know what? I'm not sure if 13-year-old us were stupid or geniuses. Or both. Could be both. You teasingly bumped your shoulder into Derek. In hindsight, it was hilarious how far away the 23-year-old appeared through the lens of a 13-year-old's brain. The bewildered Schwartz family continued to gawk. The first sign of life you spotted was Mr. Schwartz slowly scrunching his face.
Why?
Why not simply be together? That is what you want, isn't? Mrs. Schwartz softly swatted her husband's arm. It's like, honey, shut the fuck up.
No more.
Oh, let them be. When she glanced over at you and Derek, she instead collapsed with genuine tear. If that's the plan, I wish you all the luck in the world. Yes, if you're happy, then we are happy. Confusion morphed into support as much from one parent as the other. George, however, was amused by the entire situation. He put the palm of his hand to his forehead.
What?
10 years ago? You asked Salem to marry... 10 years ago? You asked Salem to marry you when you were 13? Yup. And I agreed. Well, sort of. It had conditions and a long timeline, but hey, I never said I was the one who came up with the whole thing. You didn't have to. Who else would have put that together? Touche. With a laugh, Dedek surrendered. George crossed his arms wearing a pleased smirk.
You've got it.
Yeah, alright. You got me there. You're right about all of it. Well, I hope your well laid out plan works out. Oh, I'm sure it will. I am sure it will. Me too. And thanks, George. Actually, thanks everyone for not freaking out. Blushy face, blushy face, blushy face. Cute, adorable blushy face. Thank you so much. I promise to do my best. I promise to do my best by Dedek. Cross my heart. I'm officially Team Schwartz now. Dedek's on Team Pauws now, sorry. You blush fearlessly. I'm just gonna say, I promise to do my best by Dedek. Cross my heart.
Good.
I don't doubt that for a second. I imagine they'll take good care of each other. Damn right! Breathing steadier now that the hard part was over. It suddenly struck you that someone had been uncharacteristically quiet. The audience had only consisted of 3 out of the 4 members of Dedek's family. Nicholas had nothing to say, or nothing he was willing to mention out loud. Before you can pass that observation over onto Dedek, his subdued expression showed that he was aware. That didn't actually surprise you. He was never one to ignore his little brother. Nicholas hung behind the crowd. Dedek maintained eye contact with him. Since there was nowhere to hide, Nicholas plastered a smile on his face. But he still wouldn't speak. Dedek was equally silent. There was something there, and he wasn't going to open that can of worms in front of everyone. Excuse me. Instead, he glanced down at your presence. And your presence chased his worries away. His joyful excitement reignited. You followed Dedek's lead and allowed yourself to be happy. There would be plenty of opportunities later to talk everything out with Nicholas. The rest of Dedek's family continued to voice their sincere encouragement of your relationship before letting the conversation calm down and shift. Things returned to the usual comfort you enjoyed when you were with the Schwarzes. Mr. and Mrs. Schwarz provided lunch. It was nice for the whole family to be sitting at one busy table. But after work, Dedek announced that you two should hit the road. I'm gonna get going too. I've still got classes later. Are you serious? We've barely done anything! Sorry, Nico. We gotta take a trip out to Sunset Bird before it gets any later. Fine. Me, you, and George are doing something together, and not the Father's Day thing, okay? Something that's gonna be fun with just us. You know what? This I would love to see. I would love to see like their little Brothers Day out, boys' night out. That'd be cute. Sighing affectionately, Mr. Schwarz shared a look with his snickering husband. Mrs. Schwarz shared a look with her snickering husband. Nicholas was going through the iconic parents are uncool teen phase.
Don't worry.
Don't worry. I made sure to have the whole day free. I promised to come over earlier. I promised to come over early. Dedek tilted his head towards you, silently asking your opinion before agreeing to anything. I'd love to hang out with the boys.
I swear.
Cool. Got that? We'll both be there. Count on it. We can do whatever Nico wants in the afternoon, and then it'll be Dad's pick in the evening. Sounds fair. Alright, see you then. And with that told, everyone exchanged their goodbyes and see you soon. You and Dedek left in good spirits. You hopped back into his car, already eager for home. Sunset Bird was waiting for you. During the drive, you sent off a text to let your moms know you were coming by soon. They knew you were arriving today, but they had no idea when you were going to be free to come see them. You decided that you'd surprise Mr. Holden. You sent a text to Mr. Holden telling him that you'd be in the neighborhood. No, we're surprising. The corners of your mouth curled mischievously. You had a good feeling that he'd be home this afternoon. Humming to himself, Dedek sped down the highway. The city skyscrapers were far behind you in the distance, and there was nothing but rolling hills of green. It was strange. It was strange to be sitting shotgun with Dedek after all these years of your friendship being trapped in the long distance zone, but at the same time, it also wasn't. What was arguably stranger was how his presence affected you. Having him there by your side was the most normal thing in the world to you. Soon enough, you began to recognize the landmarks dotting the way back to your hometown. Excitement buzzed under your skin. You were ready to get back home. Excuse me. The car flew past the now leaving sign. You rolled down the window to wave at it. Officially, you were back in Sunset Bird. It didn't take more than a few minutes to drive through the rest of town and roll into the sleepy neighborhood where you grew up. Zedek parked along the curb and both of you slid out.
Nice work.
We made it safe and sound. Zedek leisurely leaned on his car. He looked over the roof at you and lifted a questioning brow. So, what do you want to do first? See your moms or go check on Mr. Holden? Let's visit Mr. Holden first. If he's not there, we can try again after seeing my mom's. And if he's there now, there's a chance he might not be when we're done. And if he's not and if he's there now, there's a chance he might not be when we're done with the other visit. Sounds reasonable to me. Together, you crossed the street and walked up to the familiar door. It was still a little odd remembering that condo was now only inhabited by one single Holden. You rang the doorbell and waited. Luckily, the familiar face of Mr. Holden appeared in the doorway and beamed at seeing you.
Hey!
Hi! Zedek gave a big wave that Mr. Holden returned cheerily until his brain caught up enough to let him speak. Where in the world did you come from? Oh, where in the world did I come from? That's a little hard to explain. You see, in a totally other galaxy, far, far away. No, I'm kidding. Let's continue on. Surprise! You tipped your head back and burst into a deep laugh. When you could breathe again, you pointed your thumb at Zedek. He's letting me stay at his place so I can come visit.
Come on.
Well, that's great. Come on in. You waited for you two to follow inside. You did, and he glanced back over his shoulder to address you further. So what can I do for you two today? Well, now that you mention it, I was wondering if you're busy tomorrow.
Oh?
I'll be getting a call from my boy, but that's about it. Why? You looked at Zedek. We're inviting you to the Schwartz family Father's Day celebration. I know you're not really my dad, but I'd like you to be with me on Father's Day. Nervously, you twisted your fingers while you waited for Mr. Holden shock to pass. He placed a hand on his chest with a thumb, giving himself a bit of a jump start. We're going to be with the Schwartz Father's Day. Well, we're going to the Schwartz Father's Day celebration. Really? I can come? Well, you're the closest thing I have to a dad, so sure, why the fuck not? Yeah, I'd love it if you joined us tomorrow. Salem is right. My family loves you, and he paused, glancing over at you. Zedek knew how much this invitation meant. You're important to everybody that'll be there. So, would you join us? You see the tears start to form in Mr. Holden's eyes. He was trying with great difficulty not to get too emotional.
Okay.
Then I'll be there. Just tell me when and where.
It's no problem.
I'll text you the details later tonight. Great. Mr. Holden shifted uncomfortably on his feet. He was still feeling overwhelmed by the situation, but he shyly faced you. I hope you've been doing well. Things couldn't be better these days. Agreed.
How's it going?
Glad to hear that. And your moms are doing alright? I haven't actually seen them yet. We're going there next. Oh, can I tag along? I've been meaning to visit them, and it'd be nice to stick with you. It'd be nice to stick with you two a while longer. Yeah, that'd be perfect. Just wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything. Let's move with this party across the street. Nothing else needed to be said after that. The newly arranged group pivoted out of the door and strolled right over to your neighborhood home. Without missing a beat, you located and rang the oddly placed doorbell. Ma expectantly answered the door. Her eyes sparkled and landed on you immediately.
Hi.
Hello, sweetie. And Dedek, welcome. A few seconds later, she realized there was a third, less anticipated guest at her doorstep. She tried biting back her giggles with little success. Oh. And hello to you, stranger. Hey there! The kid swung by and I thought I'd visit too. What a lovely surprise! Come in, come in! Aww. This is so cute. Ma stepped aside, grinning widely. Wow. Yeah, I read that right. She held the door all the way open so everyone could hurry through. Heya! Mom's voice rang out from the hall right before she appeared physically in front of you. She excitedly stopped at her wife's side.
Nice.
Wow, what a great crowd! And what great moms. What great moms I have here. Hi, moms. I missed you. You're both looking good. I hope you're well. I'm gonna say I missed you. You gave them both peace signs. You smiled. You threw your arms around both of them. They're our moms. We have to get them hugs. I mean, we don't have to. Not everybody likes hugs, but you know. I do, so. Diving into them, you could feel one of them soothingly rubbing your back as they held you close. You held onto them tighter. We missed you, kiddo. Every day. Dedek gently worked his way into the conversation. You didn't miss the way his skin was suddenly a shadow rosier than before.
Good to see you.
Thanks, Mrs. and Mrs. Pauws, for letting me come by too. It's nice to see you again.
You're fantastic.
You don't need to thank us for that. You can come over anytime. You're an excellent guest.
That's fantastic.
Yes, and we need to thank you for giving our Salem a place to stay. Now we'll get to visit with her even more this summer. Oh, wait, let me try reading this in a mob voice.
Fantastic.
Yes, and we'll need to thank you for giving our Salem a place to stay. Now we'll get to visit her even more this summer. They shared a knowing look with their eyes. They had been thinking of their big anniversary later this season. You've been coming back to Sunset Bird for that. You didn't mind all the travel. You didn't mind all the traveling. It was worth it. Good point. Happy almost anniversary! Thank you. That's gonna be a night to remember, I'm sure. I bet we're gonna have I bet we're gonna have a nice little shindig at the Capri. But what's shaking? You've been busy, huh? There was certainly a lot going on in your and Dedek's lives. You had an inkling of what was once coming to mind first for Dedek. His body went stiff, and if it was obvious for that one, he was struggling to find what to say. Understandably, Dedek wasn't as confident in front of your family as he was his own. He knew from his own family that he'd be supported unconditionally. But here, there was an underlying fear that he might not be good enough for this audience. You smiled and curly. No, I'll tell them. You broke the news yourself. You wanted Dedek to know without a doubt that you weren't the only one that adored him. Stepping forward, you felt your heartbeat skip. Busy is the word Dedek and I might get married at the end of summer. Yes, we have engaged. Yes, we have. I'm engaged with strings. Well, the Schwartz family and Pauws family might unite in marriage if the arrangements are suitable. But sure, this Dedek and I kind of made a deal to get married. Oh yeah, I'm just gonna say this. And we're giving us sort of a test run. Keijo, hello, welcome. How are you? I need to get some water. My voice is starting to wear out. Hold on. How am I? I'm doing pretty good. Your heart was racing in your chest. The news had everyone's jaw hitting the floor. You swore you could have heard a pin drop. It went that quiet. Dedek tried to elaborate. You knew he was attempting to remain upbeat, but his voice came out awkward. The thing is, 10 years ago, we said that we would marry each other if we were still single at this age. So that's what's happening now. We're gonna see how it goes. Yes, indeed we will. Managed to end it off in a confident sounding note. Your moms and Mr. Holden blinked at you. As a guide to navigate the situation, you held on to the way Dedek's family had reacted earlier. That had gone well, basically. You didn't actually do it. He patiently waited, and then Maz snorted and pointed at Dedek. We clearly underestimated him. Oh, wait. We clearly underestimated him. Ma hummed nostalgically as she tried holding back her amusement, but it was obvious. Even I hadn't guessed it'd be that serious. You arranged a marriage as teenagers. Yes, we did! And we would do it again, or at least I would. Your moms leaned closer together and giggled uncontrollably. Sighing, you felt immensely better about the situation. Mr. Holden's head tilted back and he let out a shaking laugh. He crossed his arms and teasingly raised a questioning brow. At least 2 more times. No! Oh my god. Asia, what the fuck? Another deal, huh? That old chestnut had become a long-lasting joke between you and your friends. Between you, your friends, and family ever since it originally came out. Of course it had to be referenced now. That's the person who started it all. How are you even surprised? Hey, I can only take responsibility for that first one. This one's all on you. Fair. That's actually kind of fair. Dedek had no idea what to do with himself, so he idly combed his fingers through a section of his hair. It's good to be prepared, as I always say. Mom decided to come closer and supportively patted his arm.
True.
That's very true. And the 2 of you are responsible adults. I trust you'll make the best choice for yourself. Good luck, Derek. You shifted your attention to Mr. Holden for his opinion next. He proudly gave you a thumbs up.
Absolutely.
The 2 of you ladies hit the nail on the head. Thanks.
No.
Now come on, tell us how it all happened. We need the details. Ma! Ma! The group relaxed and hung out in the living room. Each person shared updates from the past and plans for the future. And I have to go to the bathroom. How much water have I been drinking? Jesus! I say this as I take another sip. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. The next group relaxed and hung out in the living room. Each person shared updates from the past and plans for the future. It went until the sun began to set. At that point, you and Dedek decided that it was time to leave sooner rather than later. The end of the visit was accepted with grace. Bye! Thanks again for coming to see us!
Take care.
Tell Mr. Schwartz Happy Father's Day for us!
I got you.
We'll be sure to do that. There we go. Mr. Holden remained in his seat. He already planned on visiting with your moms a little while longer. Oof. Cold.
See you.
Take care. I'll see the two of you tomorrow. Bye. Great seeing you. But you stepped out into the warm embrace of the evening air. Leaving that house, going onto the street, it was something you'd done countless times. Believing how much the context of that action had changed was hard. You were only here on a visit, and your boyfriend, Derek Schwartz, had joined you. A true twist on the story of older days. Derek followed you out, but didn't go to his car. Instead, he stepped into the center of the road and stayed there. His gaze wandered up the hill and past that. Off in the distance, he spoke with a voice as comforting as the familiar song of the cricket. Hey, before we go, can we stretch our legs for a bit? There's one thing I want to do while we're here. You don't have to ask me twice. Lead the way. Whoops. Hang on. Sorry about that.
Thank you.
Cool. Thanks. Derek tilted his head in the direction he wanted to go. His mouth hooked into a grin, and then he started strolling. You followed at his side. He gently slipped his fingers around yours. It made your heart flutter joyfully. Derek moved with wide, carefree strides. You giggled as you linked your hands, swung with each step. You found yourself headed outside the residential area of Sunset Bird onto the main street. It had been nice to refamiliarize yourself with the area during the little jaunt. Derek got a conversation going between you. Well, damn, that went better than I expected. With our families, though, even without saying it out loud to them, still hasn't made it feel totally real yet. There's no way you're actually dating me, I think. It's pretty unbelievable. We better start believing because it's true. I can't believe it took almost an entire 10 years. What I can't believe is that it took almost 10 entire years. Scrutinizing him, you let yourself think about the magnitude of the entire situation. It had been a long time coming. Dedek cracked a smile before letting his gaze fall to the ground. The conversation hung on that note. The walk continued, and you had a good idea of where he was going at that point. There was something coming up in the middle of the path, and it wouldn't hold any interest to anyone other than you, Dedic and Cove. For the three of you, it was special. Dedic crouched down onto the ground, right where you expected. He smiled wistfully at a decade-old inscription. The writing was well worn, but still visible. He slowly paced his finger over the small print he left in the concrete as a 13-year-old. He was so much larger than he used to be. The finger almost completely clipped the tiny mark, and yet he seemed small again to you in that moment. Oh, baby. Next, Dedic moved to the initials that you made. He dragged his fingers over to carefully trace it. This is so sweet. There was something on his mind that swept him miles away all of a sudden. You had no idea what it could be, and that uncertainty left a sour taste on your tongue. Dedic remained transfixed with the concrete and his own internal musing. Gradually, his frown worsened.
This sucks.
Time is a sucky thing to play against. If you mess up, that's it. Even if you try to turn things around later, you're not getting what you lost back. It's just gone. Making mistakes isn't a waste. Do you think you messed something up? That scares me. Well, you should be proud of what you're able to do. You watch them. I'm just gonna say, that scares me. Derek shifted his weight and noticed that his finger started to curl. I wish I could do something about that. But I'd be lying if I said I could fix it. It is scary. Maybe it'll help out. We're at least on the same page about it. Things are less frightening when you're not alone. That was all that came of it. Dedic pushed off the ground and got back on his feet. He brushed some dirt off and took his phone out. He got a picture of himself giving a thumbs up in front of the concrete slab. On the solemn air around him vanished. I'm gonna text this to Cove. Do it. Do it, you coward. You won't. Wait, I want to be in the picture. That's very cute. Cove will appreciate this. I'm gonna say, that's very cute. A bashful blush rose in his cheeks. Derek studied the picture again. Well, I bet Cove will get a kick out of us stopping by here. Me too. He got Dedic's gaze wandering up again. He hummed thoughtfully and followed his eye line to the local store across the street. I just remembered I'm still low on groceries. You just now remember this. Go buy food. Go, go, go. Shoot, shoot, shoot. We could journey over there. We could, but I'm worried things could go bad. We could, but I'm worried things could go bad on the drive back to the apartment. Plus, it's been a super long day already. How about we pick something up for dinner and save the shopping for tomorrow? My treat. How could I say no to that? I vote for takeout. Awesome. Think about what you're in the mood for, and let's get going. Together, you eagerly went back the way you came. This time, you got the car and drove out of Sunset Bird once more. Derek ordered from your preferred drive-thru and temporarily parked in the shade to pass out the goods. He handed you your drink and folded a paper bag with your food. You dug in immediately. Derek's ride was nice and still had a new car smell, but he had no problem with people eating in it. He shared his philosophy of the he shared his philosophy on the inevitability that lived in stuff is going to get dirty. He wasn't going to get mad about normal wear and tear. With a big family of busy boys, an inability to keep things pristine. An inability to keep things pristine certainly must have been an unavoidable fact of life for Dedek. You and him enjoyed the meal. It was a long finish when he pulled into his apartment's designated parking spot. The sunset dimmed down to inky blackness. It was hard to see Derek switch to an interior car lights as you gathered up the trash in the bags that dinner had come in. Hey Turbo, or Robo, whichever one you want me to call you. He led the way to his place, key in hand, and unlocked his door. Dedek held it open for you instead of going through. I'd mind. I don't mind. You could have told someone you could have told someone that he'd do that before it even happened. That was second nature to Dedek. He took a few small steps and flicked on the front light switch. Dedek came in second and crossed the floor behind him. He walked further into his living room and flopped down on his couch. That was a successful day. A long, successful day. I feel like you've already been here a week, and you got here this morning. I've really been all around. I'm glad to be back. I've practically forgotten I don't live here. Just such a nice time. I'm glad to be back. They had cemented why he had come on the street trip. You needed this. What a coincidence. I'm glad you're back too. Dedek leaned his head back as he thought. Tomorrow's gonna be busy. He raised his hand and counted each plan of activities with a finger. Groceries, taking the bros out, and the Father's Day thing. You bet it'll be great. I'm already tired just hearing about it. Also want to get something card-wise for Father's Day. Give him a thumbs up. You know, I normally don't give cards, but you know what? Why the fuck not? Also, I have been through some intense brain training. Congratulations. I also want to get a card. I want to get something card-wise. I want to. Wait. I'm more of a gift person. I don't like giving cards for some reason. I don't know why. I also want to get something gift-wise for Father's Day. So, to add that to the list, I want to get something for your dad. For the holiday, I want to get something for Mr. Holden. I want to get something for your dad and Mr. Holden for the holiday.
I'm impressed.
You're so nice. We can find something when we're shopping, I bet.
I'm impressed.
Thanks, that'll work out. Dedek blinked sleepily and getting further and further into the couch. He looks cozy. He shook himself and suddenly clapped his hands together. But hey, you probably want to shower and settle in for real before things get even later. Grabbed the back of the couch and hauled himself to his feet.
No worries.
We can always work on the schedule when we're not sweaty and exhausted. Well, that's the best time to plan things. I mean, true. Because otherwise I won't do it later. Dedek exhaled sharply at your joke and you smiled. Yeah, I'll gladly take your hot water. Bye, Dedek! Dedek waved you off as you returned to the guest room. You got all your stuff and put your toiletries in the bathroom and showered. You tried to be quick and were soon in your pajamas winding down for the night. Once again, you were back in your room. You plugged in your phone charger and unpacked tomorrow's clothes. A knock rattled your door. Can I come in? Yeah!
Thanks.
Dedek accepted your invitation and then shut the door behind him after he walked in. Sup, lovely lady? Oh! That made me blush a little. Sup yourself. You went over to the Dedek. You sat on the bed for the conversation. You sat on the bed and patted just saw it next to you. You shut your suitcase and climbed to the edge of your bed. You scooted to the corner, leaving room for Dedek. For a Dedek-sized person to sit down. A Dedek-sized person! I love this wording! Dedek stood in the corner of the room, not getting the hint until you gestured at the empty space beside you.
Oh.
He strode forward and hopped onto the mattress. The bed bounced beneath you. He grinned boyishly at you. Aww, he's so cute! Dude, he's so cute. But you know who's even cuter? Do you guys know who's even cuter? Turbo. He's just so adorable. Everything good in here? Yep. I've definitely triple checked that I brought everything. Oh, I forgot my wallet, you joked. I forgot to pack shampoo and conditioner. It is. I'm gonna say let's see. Yep. Cool. Let me know if there's anything you need. Derek stretched his arms above his head and yawned. Despite his sleepiness, he remained upbeat. Rather than seeming done with the conversation, he appeared to be mulling something over. Probably what to say next. He wasn't being responsible and going to bed early. He didn't mind. This was your first day having gotten together, and there was no rush to its end. Spark came to his eyes, inspiration striking him. He instinctively leaned closer to you, bringing your face almost nose to nose. Salem, while you're here, we should go to the water park. There's one a ways away, but it'd be so worth it. He eagerly continued to lay out his thought process.
Oh man.
We haven't done something like that since the boardwalk. Man, that was ages ago, and our families were there. If we tried, we could keep it just you and me. Obviously, there's not a chance tomorrow. So how about the day after? How about the day after that? We go there first thing, spend the afternoon together, and get going before it gets late. He paused and took a hopeful breath. All of this attention focused on your reaction. So, what do you think? Well, alright, I'd be willing to give it a try. I'm just gonna say, I'd love to go. That sounded like a lot of fun. You remember how much Dedek had talked up water parks before? Going to a water park would be such a fantastic thing to do.
Wait.
Wait a second. His eyes went as wide as something dawned on him. Would that be a date? Am I asking you on a date? That's how it sounded to me. A water park date. Cute! The realization hit him hard. Derek's teeth were clenched and he leaned back as he tried to process. Oh, hold on! He held his hands in the air in front of you frantically and gestured to you to stay. I gotta do something, but I'll be right back. Please. Well, you know. He launched himself off the bed and across the floor. He fled the room before you could blink. Okay. Bye? You stayed put, not sure what else to do. Derek should be okay, hopefully. You're intrigued and wondered what he was doing. Your imagination ran wild with possibilities. Was he getting something? Did he need to talk to someone? This had to be related to accidentally asking you on a date, right? You waited in silence, occasionally tapping your foot. It had to be about a minute until your phone rang. What's happening? You couldn't help but chuckle at the absurd timing of the interruption. You glanced at your phone on the side table, then craned your neck to see if Derek was anywhere to be found. Derek wasn't in the hall. You went over to your phone and picked it up. You didn't plan on answering it, but you did want to see who in the world needed a ring right at this moment. The name lit up. Your caller ID was Derek. I am not surprised. I kind of expected that. What? You paused, doing nothing but staring at the jilling device on your palm. Then slid your finger over the screen to answer. Wow, what a coincidence that you'd call! I was just thinking of you! Derek chuckled. You could hear the nerves in his voice even through the slight distortion from the phone.
Hello.
Hello, this is Derek Schwartz. You were on my mind too, and I want to see you, so I'm calling to ask if you'd agree to go on a date on Monday. Why are you so cute? You instantly laughed loudly but affectionately. Why did you have to call to ask me that? People arrange dates in person all the time. Derek hesitated before responding. He replied soft and shy. Well, if you want to know the truth, since I was finally asking you out for real, I felt like I owed it to my younger self to do it over the phone. That only gave you more questions. You waited for him to continue. His voice quieted, almost a whisper. Over the years, I've thought about you a lot. You've never been forgettable.
I missed you.
No matter how busy I was, I'd still remember how great it was hanging out. I missed you. And then I'd had myself to tell myself to pick up the stupid phone and then ask you out. It wouldn't be the end of the world if you didn't want to, and hey, maybe it would work out. I'd march over the phone and put it to my ears and my fingers on the buttons, and then nothing. I put it down with a sigh and think about how I didn't really have time, and you were probably busy and wouldn't want to date me anyway. This time I really did it. I really called you and said what I wanted to say. I'm so sorry, Derek. I didn't know. I wouldn't have said no if you asked. I'm so sorry. For being honest, sometimes I thought you didn't like me. No, but I didn't want to bother you either. Well, that's frustrating. Why would you think that? I'm sorry, Derek. I didn't know. You laughed and snorted an uncomfortable sound. You don't have to say sorry to me. It was my problem. None of it was because of you. Hold on, my phone is going off. Alright, I'm gonna end stream after this phone call. I mean, the phone call in game. No one spoke and the awkwardness began to press on you. But Derek brightened his voice, unwilling to let it linger any longer. Well, it's late. I shouldn't keep you up. I'll see you tomorrow and early. We should plan to leave the apartment by around 8 for shopping. Everything's close enough that we can walk if that's alright. Okay.
Good night.
Great. Good night, Salem. Good night, Derek. You heard a beep and the call ended. Put your phone back on the table in your empty room. And here's where I'm gonna save. For the game, yeah. Alright. Boop, 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 boop. Ba, 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 ba. And thank you all so much for coming into the stream this morning. I had a lot of fun and I hope you all did too. If you are watching this as a VOD, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. If you would like to follow me, I am on Twitter and Tumblr. If you want to keep up with me, see my updates and all that. If you like what you see here on my channel and want to help financially support me, I have a Ko-fi and a Stream Elements page. Please do not feel like you have to. You are not obligated. Please do not feel like you have to, but it would be greatly appreciated. And I will probably cry if you do. I also have a Vroid and a treat stream. If you guys ever want to send me gifts or a snack. But that's it for me. Have a wonderful rest of your day or evening, depending on where you are in the world. And I'll see you all tonight on Twitch. I'll see you guys soon.